All right, man. We're gonna move on with our season preview. We're gonna talk about our week 2 opponent and week 14 opponent. So we started the season off with two divisional opponents. We did the season preview for the Chicago Bears already. Now we're moving on to week 2, the Green Bay Packers, and we will be at Lambeau Field early. And I think they're anticipating having fans there in some capacity. Also, like the Lions and the Fords, mandating face guards and face masks and stuff of that nature for the fans, and probably social distancing between the seats. So there may be some Packer fans in the stands. There may not be, depending on how things are moving along, right? But let's talk about the Green Bay Packers and what's changed this year for them and how we stack up and kind of where their roster is at right now. Their free agents kind of stack up. Devin Funchess from the Colts, he played at Michigan. He blew his knee out, I think, last season, but he's opted out. They brought Jimmy Graham in. They have former right tackle for the Detroit Lions from last year and a few years before that, Rick Wagner, who was terrible, but watch he go over there and be good. They also picked up 4-3 outside linebacker. That's what they got him listed as. Christian Kirksey from the Cleveland Browns. They brought back Brian Balaga. They brought back Lane Taylor, right tackle, left guard. They brought back Tremont Williams. He owed his dirt. Mason Crosby, Jared Van Deer. They brought him back. Geronimo Allison. He moves on to the Lions. So they lost him. They bring Mercedes Lewis back. Matter of fact, I'm not sure if they haven't brought back, Tremont, and they haven't brought back Jared Van Deer. So those guys are still free agents or they opted out. I don't know. They lost Jason Springs, left tackle. Last time he was a backup tackle to the Bears. Also, they lost Abraham Campbell to the Titans. Other than that, they lose Kyle Ferkler to the Giants. He's a linebacker. B.J. Goodson, they lose him to the Browns. So they basically trade linebackers with the Browns. They keep Tyler Irvin, running back. Cole Madison, he a free agent still. Dan Vitale, he's with the Patriots. They lose Blake Martinez to the Giants. I'm just going to go with the household names left. They bring in Travis Fogham from us. We dropped him. It'd be interesting to see if he make the team. He's pretty good. So those are the major acquisitions they made. If you're concerned about their draft, let's talk about their draft, and I kind of continue from there. The big news, they brought Jordan Love. They was looking to get a receiver, from Aaron Rodgers' perspective, but they drafted Future, and that happened to Brett Favre with Rodgers, and now it's happened to Rodgers with Jordan Love. Second round, they bring in A.J. Dillon, a big, powerful 247-pound, 6-foot back out of Boston College. They third round pick, Josie Duranga, the tight end. No, is he a tight end? Yeah, tight end out of Cincinnati. He had split some time with Jimmy Graham, but rookie tight ends take some time for them to get acclimated. They brought in Kamal Martin, linebacker in the fifth round from Minnesota. John Runyon from Michigan, guard, 6'4", legacy player. Few brothers play, at least one brother play in the league. Jake Hansen, they got him, center, Oregon. He also, I believe, was a 6th round pick, just like John Runyon. In the 7th, they brought Vernon Scott, safety out of TCU. And also in the 7th, they've got Jonathan Garvin, linebacker, Miami, who is 6'4". So, when you look at all the things that they've done this offseason and guys that opted out, it seems like their prized possession was basically kind of picking up leftovers from other teams like Jimmy Graham. I think Devin Funchess, if he could have snapped back to form before he opted out, he would have been a really, really dangerous. He would have been a really, really dangerous receiver for them. Funchess was a guy that played some tight end receivers for the University of Michigan, and I think if he was healthy, Aaron Rodgers would have made the most out of him. That would have been a perfect number 2 for the money they paid for him for Devontae Adams. But now, basically, they gave up Jimmy Graham to the Bears. On that one I messed up. They lost Jimmy Graham to the Bears, but, they got a rookie tight end. They got another year tight end who was a rookie last year. So, Rodgers don't seem to have so many weapons, all right? They don't. He don't. This team is really, you really don't know where they're going. They got some really good ball players. When you talk about Jair Alexander, when you talk about, Aaron Rodgers, I think A.J. Dillon is going to be pretty good. They go with Aaron Jones. They got some really good players, but really when you look at the way the league is going, when you got the Chiefs putting up points, the way they put up points, Obviously, I don't think this team is equipped to put up points. But what I will tell you is where they can't compete with the teams that put up points. Now you have a situation where you have an older quarterback with Aaron Rodgers. Now what you can do is you can limit his dropbacks by handing the ball off and dinking and dacking. You like it, Dak Prescott, dink and dak. I'm making that a household name. To Aaron Jones and using A.J. Dillon to soften it up. So what the Packers can do, if they can improve their run defense, what they now can do is they really can control the ball and the clock, and Aaron Rodgers can make those timely throws. It's kind of regressing him back to a game manager. But in the grand scheme of things, Aaron Rodgers still can spread it out if they have the pass catchers, and he still can get up there and put points on the board. But when he is old as he is and as fragile as he's been injured, collarbone broke, all types of stuff, knocked out the game the year they won the Super Bowl by the Lions. But if you can kind of scale it back for him where he can hand the ball off more during the season, make critical passes, he's very accurate, one of the most talented quarterbacks with his feet and his arm, he can make those critical throws, and you really can scale back his dropbacks and the times he get hit. And you can hand it to A.J. Dillon, and you could dump it down to Jones and let Jones run the ball, and then you could play action and see Devontae Adams down the field. I see where Green Bay is going. You know what I'm saying? Instead of trying to spend money and keep up with the highest, scoring teams, the greatest show on grass and turf and stuff of that nature, what the Packers are doing is they going to the kryptonite of the high-scoring offenses, and that's game management, that's ball control, that's running the ball, that's, basically chewing up the clock. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers don't like that, but guess what? He's 30-something years old. His body is going to be a lot fresher when playoff time comes. But the issue here is when you look at their defense, they got ball hawks. You talk about Jair Alexander, he's the best in their backfield. Kevin King, he out of Washington, he should be coming. Adrian Amos, I think he came from Chicago. Darnell Savage. They got some guys back there, but they baking as hell by Zadarius Smith and Preston Smith getting after the passer. Now, where they lack is in the interior, okay? They got to be able to stop the ball. Right now, they don't have a listed two inside linebackers that should start. They gave up Blake Martinez, and I don't know who else started an inside linebacker. So they also got U of M Rashad Gary, which can help Smith and the Smith brothers on the outside. But the issue for the Packers and where you can be able to attack the Packers is in the middle. Kenny Clark got to step up. The inside linebackers got to fill the void. You can get north and south on the Packers if you are able to run the ball. And if you're able to run the ball, that ball control should go out the window. So they got to be better in the interior, and they didn't address that enough in this draft to me. They didn't address that in free agency enough. They didn't give Rodgers more weapons. They didn't address the interior of the defense. And teams like the 49ers and physical teams that's going to put a hat on the hat is going to run through the Green Bay Packers, all right? They can do all the ball control you want to. If a team is able to run on you at will and gas you the way the 49ers gas them, and then able to play action and take advantage of, corners and safeties peeking in the backfield, the Packers are not equipped, to win it all right now unless they get better at stopping the run. You tell me they stop the run, and the Smith brothers and Rashad Gary can do their thing, and Jair Alexander, who I want the Lions to draft that year, can be ball hawks. They're going to be a football team that can go all the way. But as of right now, if the interior ain't addressed, they have some issues. I'm not worried about Rick Ragnar. He'll be able to go out there and hold as much as he wants playing for the cheating fucking cheesecake heads. But you also worry about what they doing at receiver. They got a rookie tight end, and then they got a second-year tight end. And then they got a veteran Mercedes Lewis who can't even run. He can't outrun me right now. What you're looking at is, receiver-wise, they got to look at Marquez Valdez-Scantling stepping up. Devontae Adams going to be there, but he got to be able to stay healthy. You know what I'm saying? So really, they basing their offense on Scantling and Devontae Adams, and hopefully somebody else can step up and play the slot. It's a lot of ifs on that offense. From tight end, to number 2 receiver, number 3 receiver. It's a lot of holes on this team, and I'm not sure Rodgers is young enough and spry enough to really overcome them holes at this point, especially the interior as far as, north and south running. They got to get better at that. But when you got number 12 at the helm, he bad motherfucker. Excuse my language. He bad. And he can make some things happen. He can have a great bounce back year. His year wasn't bad last year. They just scaled it back and they went to a more ball control offense. But, the elephant in the room before we talk about how the Lions match up with them is Jordan Love. Them drafting Jordan Love. I don't think Jordan Love is actually ready to play right now. Okay? If Rodgers get injured, I don't think he's going to step in and do too much better than DeShone Kizer did. You know what I'm saying? So, right now, I wouldn't be concerned about Jordan Love for another 2 years. It's some mechanical things he got to fix. In Green Bay, when they had Mike McCarthy, they was able to fix mechanical things wrong with Aaron Rodgers. That Ted Tedford offense out there in Cal, his mechanics was a little bit off. He liked the quarterbacks to hold the ball high so the ball will come out faster. So if they can mechanically work with Jordan Love, I would say about a good 2 seasons before he'd be able to take over. But that was a necessity pick when they needed needs from the receiver, but they never thought that the COVID that, Devin Funchess will opt out. So obviously the Lions, we're going to have to pay them 2 times, week 2 and week 14, 2 at Lambeau, week 14 at Ford Field. We beat them last year, I feel, at Lambeau. We got cheated. It is what it is. We should have scored touchdowns instead of field goals. But also, last game of the year, David Blog played pretty well, and one of the New Orleans Saints fans said if Blog could beat the Saints, he would give him a brand new car off the lot as he pleased. And David Blog just fell just a tad bit short. So, we know them. They know us. Even no matter how piss poor their run defense has been, we still ain't been able to run the ball on Green Bay. We ain't been able to run the ball on nobody. So, hopefully that changes this year. We have a better run game. But our advantages, this year is just being familiar with them. They don't have a lot of weapons no more. So, Patricia's bend don't break defense, especially if the Lions can stop the run. It works well versus Aaron Rodgers. They able to make Aaron Rodgers pick underneath and pick us apart underneath, and then, hopefully we get the stops on 3rd and short and 3rd and manageable. So that's pretty much the game. We know the Green Bay Packers. Our defense is pretty good against Aaron Rodgers, but eventually he usually does break out and shake free. Our problem is we don't put up enough points. We settle for field goals against them. This year we got to put up points, and a huge advantage or a huge boost to that is going to be running the football north and south. If we're able to run the football north and south, I don't think the Packers are going to be able to touch us this year, especially if Stafford is healthy, especially if Patricia, at least bring the defense that he did last year. It does a great job. He understands Aaron Rodgers. He understands how he tick. And Aaron Rodgers always kind of had fits with our defense. It's because we just, divisional foes. But, Green Bay is a really good team. They got a winning pedigree. And if we're going to win the North, we got to beat them twice this year, straight up and down. We got to beat the division. We got to run the ball. We got to protect Stafford. And our defense just got to do what they did versus Green Bay last year for the most part. Week 17, whatever it was, we was dealing with a lot of injuries. But that first meeting, we got some bad calls on pass rush and all that, but that's in the past. We can't expect that the refs will hand us anything versus the Green Bay Packers or versus any other team. But, obviously, I think we got a good chance to compete. And every year we compete with them. Every year it feel like it's close. Every now and again we might kind of, put it on them. Every now and again they might put it on us. But we familiar. But if we're going to win the North, we got to get over these guys. And these guys are not as talented as they've been in past years. It's going to pretty much be predicated on some of their young guys taking a step in the right direction, being healthy through the COVID. But then again, when you have number 12 out there, anything is possible. But, not mad at what they did this offseason, but it just don't seem like they helped anything. You're going in with a second-year tight end. You're going in with a rookie tight end. You're going in and Marquez Valdes-Scantling, who you didn't believe that was good enough to be number 2, so you brought in Funchess. Just make you believe that, it sounds like they may be trying to sabotage, Aaron Rodgers. But we'll see what they bring to the table. I think we got a good chance of any is beating them. It is scary. When you look at what our offensive line brings to the table, Decker and Big V, they may struggle with the speed and power of Preston and Zadarius Smith. So that's why it's going to be imperative that we able to run that ball north and south. If we ain't able to run that ball north and south, the Packers are just going to dominate us again, all right? But the secondary is young, but we need to run that ball. So then play action and the bootlegs can work out and we can get good windows to jump to. But I like our odds versus the Packers in Lambeau, in Ford Field, on Saturn, on Mars, on the moon, all right? I think the Packers are trending in the wrong direction due to their personnel positions, and also they're trending in the wrong direction because their quarterback old. But hey, let me know what you guys think. about our week 2 and 14 opponents, the Green Bay Packers. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you have a business question, inquiry, response to your video request. All my social media links in the description. Twitter's the fast way to IG and Facebook. Want to make a donation? Cash App, PayPal in the description. And we'll be moving on to week 3 season preview pretty soon. Let me know what you guys think about the video. If I forgot anything, let me know. And I did understand I made a mistake. Jimmy Graham is playing for the Bears this year. One time for the